Our obdurate egocentricity, ingrained in our minds since beginningless time, contaminates, defiles, pollutes our environment. Lakes and ponds have lost their clarity, their coolness. The atmosphere is poisoned. Nature's celestial canopy in the fiery firmament has burst asunder, and sentinel beings suffer diseases unknown before. In the trees lie the roars of all life on earth when it vanishes. Our only home. A climate appeal to the world by His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, published in 2020. Welcome to Monday Morning Book Buzz. I'm Heather from the Bay County Public Library. This week we celebrate not only National Poetry Month, but also Earth Day. I'm here today at the Lynn Haven Sports Complex. And while I'm talking, you might want to look around and see if you see any evidence of climate change or climate-related incidents. The 2021 theme for Earth Day is Restore Our Earth. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on, and you can visit earthday.org to get in on the action. Earth Day this year is a 3-day global celebration from April 20th to 22nd. So let's get started. My first selection is a family book, because we are all in this together. Climate Action. What happened and what can we do? It's written by Seymour Simon and published in 2021. This is a star-studded book with lots of facts and plans. The stars are amazing kids from all around the world who have taken a stand, speaking up about climate change and holding their community and leaders accountable. The water warrior, Indigenous teenager Autumn Pelletier, who has been appointed Chief Water Commissioner for the Anishinaabe Nation in Canada. Kelsey Juliana filed a lawsuit against the United States government for knowingly failing to protect kids against climate change. Artemisia began to plant trees in Brazil when she was 7 years old, and she traveled all the way to New York for the 2019 climate strike. That climate strike, started by one 15-year-old girl in Sweden, Greta Thunberg, calling for immediate action, drew participation from over 7 million people on every continent. It's basic, powerful, and full of real kids engaging in climate action. Seymour Simon's Climate Action. The next book I'm going to talk about could easily become the standard handbook in every home. How to Prepare for Climate Change, A Practical Guide to Surviving the Chaos by David Pogue. This was published in 2020. Let me read from the introduction. Maybe you're a liberal. Maybe you're a conservative. Maybe you think the climate crisis is man-made. Maybe you think the whole thing is a Chinese hoax. Guess what? It doesn't matter. The world is getting hotter, natural systems are going haywire, and you should begin to prepare. This book is all about how we prepare right now. Climate science can be divided into 3 approaches. Mitigation, trying to stop climate change. We can switch to green energy, eat less beef and more plants, fly less, drive less, plant trees, and generally behave in earth-friendly ways. And second, there is adaptation, coping with climate change. We can amp up our infrastructure, relocate people and farms, and when you plant those trees, make sure they're heat tolerant. And the third is obviously suffering. We all know that one already, but we are going to learn a whole lot more about it. It's too late to choose what approach we use. We have to mitigate and adapt as hard as we can and suffer what we can't escape. This book is a practical guide to adaptation. Steps that you can take as one person for yourself, your family, and your community. It's about where to live and how to live. Beyond the basics, this book explodes with practical advice. There are even investment tips and insurance advice. What's going on in specific areas of the country? Why should we save water? And how? How can we really prepare for heat waves, droughts, hurricanes, wildfires, and floods? What are we supposed to do about mosquitoes and ticks? And who knows what else is going to climb up to the top of the food chain? Are you ready for another pandemic? How do we prepare for social breakdown? How do you talk to your kids about this? The last chapter is where to find hope. You're going to need it after the other chapters. But there is a lot of hope in this section, my personal favorite chapter, in fact. All the world over, there are major initiatives in action. The information in this fantastic handbook comes from a stellar list of experts. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? How to Prepare for Climate Change, a Practical Guide to Surviving the Chaos by David Pogue. This is a genuine must-read. Book club is on Wednesday, April 28th at 11. Email me for a link if you feel like talking or listening. Keep your mask on in public, get your vaccination, and let's do something right now that's good for the earth. In the words of the Dalai Lama, may the force of observing that which is right nourish and augment the prosperity of the world. I'm Heather from the library. Happy reading!